Hello and welcome to another episode of Diablo IV, where I'm continuing to play through the 9th season of Diablo, the season of the Sins of the Horadrim. Last we left off, I thought, completed the entirety of the season story, but it turns out there's at least one more quest. Wisdom's Chosen. So we gotta explore Eldheim Keep. Who knows what else could be hiding in Eldheim? I should do a thorough sweep to find out if there are any other Horadric relics within. And I think, you know, if this is the start of an episode, that means that there's another quest after that. So there's at least 2 more quests, potentially. We will be, I hope, finishing the season story this episode. Next episode may come out, you know, depending upon when this is released, a few weeks later, where I do some endgame stuff, all the events, so on and so forth. And then finally, I plan to do the season story compilation, like always. So that is the plan. We are very squishy right now. I should actually do some of this. Give me some armor. That'll mean that I'm not going to probably be one-shot every single time. I just want to kill all the demons before I start picking stuff up. Okay, so we need to look for something. Note in Donan's hand. Net. Take the stone to the bulwark's walls. See what the mason can do to restore it. Be gentle with it now. It's older than Eldheim itself. So there's a relic. Donan's note mentioned an artifact and broken bulwark under Eldheim. It could be a chest or urn. Though with the chaos of Eldheim's fall, I should also search any corpses I find. So I am kind of curious how long this quest chain is. Is it just like a couple of letters in a journal or two? Is there actually going to be a boss? Are we actually going to get to learn anything about the Horadrim? That would be nice. I'm a little bit skeptical, but we'll see. Is this a dungeon? Yeah, it seems like it. Alright. Search the slain knights for the keep key. Okay. I do wonder if I could have combined this with a nightmare dungeon. That would have maybe been interesting. Skosglen. Warnfield. No, I don't think so. I was not looking at the Skosglen keys actually, so maybe there would have been one, but it's fine. Yeah. It's fine.
Shale, you've done the work of... Magnificent. But I must pass on a request from the man of the house. He wants all the banners taken down, restitched in gold. You know how Donan is. Wants to give his boy a proper coming of age. A ceremony fit for kings. I know you've worked to the bone, but the day isn't far off. Think of the feast we'll have when the hunt is done. Marlowe, steward, Eldheim Keep.
I don't know if that belongs to the quest. I don't think so. I think that's just some of the bulwarks flavor. But we listen to it anyway. I hate that you cannot replay quests. It is one of the journals entries. It's one of the dumbest things. Like, they had a good system in Diablo 3. It wasn't perfect, but they could have made it a little bit better, a little bit more modern, and implemented it. I honestly am still flabbergasted that Blizzard doesn't have a good journal system.
No.
Lane Knight. Nope, nothing there. Because we need to find the key. Not there either. It's too bad. So it should be here, right? I guess not. Last time's the charm, right? There we go. Only had to look through the entirety of the the keep to find it. There's actually a resplendent chest right there. Nice. Now, I believe that all the bosses are roughly the same from the previous season. I don't know if Mythics, if the drop rate has been a bit increased or not. And obviously we don't have Belial's incursions, but I think the endgame is more or less the same as before. May as well do this real quick. So I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut to when something related to the quest happens, so you guys don't have to see the entirety of the dungeon. Yeah. Alright, I have found whatever relic it was. So, it's right here by the Slain Knight, Shattered Gravestone.
Here lie the ruins of Abu Khair, the city of walking dunes. The monument from which this piece came commemorated the Order's first real success. The first sealing of a prime evil. But it also mourned our first failure. For Mephisto's capture leveled the city and killed thousands. Tal Rasha had this made to remind us that Sanctuary has no future if we do not tend to her present. The sand has since swallowed the city's ruins. I will see that we remember.
Okay, that's interesting. So we're supposed to speak with Briona. I'm gonna real quick, of course, finish this dungeon real quick, essentially. I mean, may as well. While I speak, I may as well fight the Khazar Abomination. I mean, this is interesting. So we're gonna speak with Briona. I feel like this could either lead to another quest chain. It seems like it doesn't have the same, like it's not as easy to understand how many quests there are. Like the previous one had 9 quests. Will this one have 4, 2, 8? I remember when the Infernal Hordes had a Torment quest line, and that one was awesome. That was pretty clear, like you had to do it to unlock the Infernal Hordes. I'm not really sure what this one means. Wisdom's Chosen. Speak with Briona. I should tell Briona what I found and see if she can keep the relic safe in Karagar. Just a shattered greystone. And we have no information. Okay. Found this Horadrim artifact. Can I leave it here with you?
Ugly old thing, isn't it? But I can tell it's important. And potentially dangerous. I'd rather keep such things in eyesight than out. So you can leave it here. Till we've a better spot for it.
Place the relic. Right here? Oh, okay. Maybe there are multiple relics. Speak with the villager about the relic. Okay, there's a villager somewhere out there. There must be other Horadrim relics out there. I should ask around and see if anyone's seen anything noteworthy. Okay, so is this just like a fetch quest thing? If you want to find them, you can? Maybe. So this is Terra. Seen anything strange? Is everything alright here?
Oh, it would be, if I could keep my son from gobbling up every last scrap of food we get. He said he stumbled across some old relic while playing in a cave. I'm sure you've more important things to do, but I said I'd let you know.
Okay, let's see if any of these actually have any, like, interesting... So this is another dungeon one. Okay, let's see if I can actually get a nightmare dungeon in combination with that. So I'll make a cut real quick here. So unfortunately, I did try to craft some nightmare dungeons, and I did not get Calibel's Mine. So I'm just gonna have to do it as a regular dungeon. But I will be cutting to when I actually get close to the, you know, whatever thing it is. I heard a rumor of another relic at the very end of Calibel's Mine. I should clear it out and search for it. So I'll be doing the mine off camera instead of showing the entire mine, so I'll be making a cut right now. Alright, so we actually killed the boss, and it actually seems to have dropped two different things. So one is the Bandit Scroll, which I do not know what it is. Quest item, Wisdom's Chosen. Looted this stone off the dead Horadrim rotting in Kor Valar. It felt valuable. Thing is worthless in the end, should have taken the damn shield. And then we have the remnant of Tal Rasha's tomb.
This stone was spat from the belly of Tal Rasha's tomb. He was the first of us. Kul called him noble, selfless. Deckard Cain called him valorous. Tyrell called him wise, and chose him as our leader. And he suffered for it. For centuries he wrestled with Baal. This time, there were no casualties, save for Tal Rasha himself. Or rather, what was left of his humanity, and all that made him good. It shall surprise no one that Baal escaped anyway. We have coped without a leader. Yet I fear we have not completely salvaged the hope that died with our first.
So we need to explore Kor Valar, so once again, another dungeon. Or maybe just the area around the dungeon, hopefully. So, we're learning a little bit about the Horadrim, but nothing really all that new. I feel it's like information that most people who have played the other Diablo games would know. If you never played another Diablo game, you would learn some new things, but you wouldn't know who Deckard Cain really is or all that stuff, so... I feel like they're having this weird in-between where they're not really telling you enough to make it interesting or new, but they still kind of rely on you knowing stuff about Diablo, so... Oh, okay, that was easy. So we found a Bandit's Corpse, Horadric's Shield, and Horadrim Journal. I've traced Cathan's steps all the way to Orbe. With any luck, she'll have left something behind there. And I guess we did find it. So I should search the body found in Kor Valar and read the journal beside it to see if it's related to the note I found in Kelbeli's mine.
Inscribed here is part of the oath our Order's initiates once took. Knowledge, lifeblood of light, magic, open palm of justice, perseverance, challenger of fate. Much has been written on justice and light, not so much on fate and the challenging of it. Our history is riddled with failures. How could it not be? Yet it is also rich with moments of defiance in the face of despair, rejections of the concept of futility. We may fail, but we shall always rise to try and fight again.
Okay, that's kind of interesting. A little bit anyway. So we, I should place these relics with the first relic that I found back in Karagar. So I'll be doing that. Once again, if they had a way to rewatch or re-listen to journals, that would be amazing. Like, I do not understand why they do not have that. We're more than 2 years into Diablo IV, and they still haven't fixed the journal situation. Well, let's place the relics. Okay, so we can actually listen to everyone.
Of Abukir, the city of walking dunes. The monument from which this piece came.
Yeah, okay, so we're actually...
This stone was spat from the belly of Tal Rasha's tomb.
And then we have this.
Inscribed here is part of the oath our Order's initiate.
So they did actually create a way that you can re-listen to every single journal, but... this is the only way, and it's only temporary. This is acceptable. Like, this is an acceptable way of doing it. But it's temporary. Find the relic within the Forgotten Depths. I should travel to Orbe and search for corpses within the Forgotten Depths. So there is another tomb. So it seems like there's basically a chain of relics So I'll be making a cut to when I have some nightmare dungeons so that I can kind of chain them at the same time. I will be doing the remainder of the finding the relics. Alright. Alright, here we are at the Forgotten Monastery. So the next relics are supposed to be gotten there. Find the relic within the Forgotten Depths. I should travel to Orbate and search for corpses within its Forgotten Depths. The Priestess of the Horadrim. So I guess we learn a little bit about different segments for every single you know, time period, perhaps. So I'll be cutting to when we get to the actual artifact once again. Alright, once again, I'm fighting the dungeon boss. I think this one will drop the, yeah, this one drops the artifact once again. Torn Scroll. So let's pick that up. Torn Scroll. The letter we found is astonishing. I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it myself. I sent it to our colleagues at the library near Chaldeum for proper archiving. And then we have the Embalming Tool.
Ceremony was much more important to the first of our order. No surprise there. Where an angel leads, displays of deference follow. Mummification was one such ritual, whose instances dwindled along with our numbers. The Horadrim Cathan performed the task with distaste. It went against her faith. Early Zakarum buried their dead free from the post-mortem violations of embalmment. Nonetheless, I admire the slow and careful dedication with which she carried out the rite. We Horadrim seek to find answers. To do that, we must remain open to the possibility that the answers we have found might yet be wrong.
So, the note mentions a library near Chaldeum that may have a relic. Perhaps the sunken library will have some secrets within its chest that I can find. So it seems like every single one is just a fetch quest, which is a bit of a shame, and each one is in a dungeon. So, if the next one is just, you know, kill the boss or whatever, I might just cut to putting all of them back in Karagar, essentially, and then just playing the audios right there. Maybe I'll show real quick getting them, and then I'll play the audios when I'm actually there. Alright, making another cut. Okay, I actually found the letter very quickly in the dungeon. Letter to Ibn Fad.
I believe this epistle speaks for itself. Ibn, I cannot count the tears I shed for our Tal Rasha. Tyrell has led us nobly, but have we followed him too unquestioningly? An angel he may be, but angels are one half of the very conflict we seek to end. He claimed the Soul Stone was our salvation. Yet you write that Baal shattered it like glass. I am grateful for Tyrell's wisdom, but perhaps wisdom lies in other places too. Unexpected places. My travels to these southern jungles have challenged all I knew. I will tell all upon my return. Your friend, Cathan.
Alright, so we need to speak to a villager about relics. So the trail for more relics seem to have gone cold. Maybe someone or something in Firebreak Manor will point me to another Horadric relic. Which seems like a little bit of a stretch, but yeah, we'll continue over there. Alright, it's time to speak with the villager about learning for more relics. And Briona is right here, actually. That's kind of fun. I guess they have refugees setting up in the manor now. Alright, Finch. How are things here at Firebreak?
It's as good a hole as any since you and Briona cleared out Eldheim. Hey, I owe you one for that. In the last bit I called home, I spotted some old relic. Looked valuable. Was planning to sell the thing, but consider it yours.
Oh, you just happened to find one. Find the relic within Mercy's reach. So once again, we have to clear another dungeon. I've heard a rumor that there may be another relic in Mercy's reach. I can only assume that anything valuable would be locked up safely in some relinquery, or perhaps secreted away by the goatmen who have occupied this place. Now this is another dungeon. This is like the 5th one. And I don't have any nightmare sigils for these dungeons. It is so stupid when you have a nightmare-centric theme that they do not give you the specific nightmare dungeon sigil for each single dungeon, because these must be predetermined. And that would basically allow you to do more nightmare dungeons and get more of the seasonal quests. It's like 2 birds with 1 stone, and they haven't chained them, which is absolutely ridiculous. But oh well. Cutting to the next artifact. Alright, once again, I have found the next artifact, which is the relic in here. And once again, you didn't have to actually complete the dungeon. I'll do that after I've collected it.
The Horadrim Cathan, priestess of the Zakarum, wouldn't live to see the atrocities that would be carried out in the name of her religion. Yet she saw the seeds of darkness sown in her churches and her peers. She wrote of them at length. It never dissuaded her from her prayers. Cathan was one for whom faith and doubt were partners, not enemies. Her freeness to doubt strengthened her commitment and her faith. Her belief that this world can be better continually pushed her to question how. This holy memento was hers. Justice and light are etched into the back.
We're supposed to place the relics. Okay, so the trail to find more relics has gone cold. I should place these relics within the others at Karagar. So once again, doing that real quick. Alright, here we are. It's time to place the remaining relics. So I place one right there. And then we have one right there. Let me just check the text real quick. Yeah, the trail has gone cold. I should place these relics with the others. Finally, we have the relic right here. Okay, so I need to speak with Davish now. Alright, so we now have the next quest, the Kin of Cain. Speak with Davish. Perhaps Davish has a lead on another Horadric relic. I should ask him and see. I do wonder how many of these there are left. Maybe this is the final one? I hope so. How fares Skosglen?
She's seen better days. Worse ones, too. Hey, you're into that old Horadric stuff, right? Got a report of an old cache. Maybe it'd be of use to you.
Alright, so we need to find a relic outside of Giakul. Okay, this time it's not in a dungeon. Maybe. Or we're gonna find a letter and it will be there. It will lead to a dungeon. We'll see. Alright, this looks promising. Cracked jewelry.
Horadrim must often sacrifice the simple pleasures of life. Comfort, kinship, romance. Deckard Cain was one whose family was ripped from him long before he ever took up our mantle. Indeed, he was leery of our order at the time. Yet even still, it was his unrelenting obsession with research that drove his loved ones away. After his spouse took their son and left him, she and the boy were slaughtered by bandits. Deckard was not Horadrim then, and yet his challenge was so very Horadric. This keepsake once belonged to Amelia Cain. I shall place it with Deckard's things.
Then we have a scavenger's note. So, yeah, inspect the scavenger's note. Looted everything I could from that old Horadrim's hut in the peaks. Place has been picked over. Nothing but a sad old man's things are left there now. Now, where could that old place be? It's actually by the windswept hut. Okay, that's actually a little bit interesting that it's part of the quest area. I like that. I'm just gonna pick up some legendaries real quick. You know, don't mind if I do. And we'll make a cut when I'm back there. So here we are back at Loraf's little hut. Let's just read the quest real quick. The thief's body had a note near it referencing Loraf's home in Fractured Peaks. Maybe he left something there aside from empty bottles. So let's see. There's the kettle. Whatever is brewing smells awful. There's still something brewing there? Roderick Strongbox. Gnarled walking staff.
Tragic as the slaughter of his family was, it was another step on Deckard's path to becoming Horadrim. For what are we without the common folk we strive to protect? At last, Cain sat down his research and took up his staff. He forged friendships with Tristram's townfolk. He writes of Pepin the Healer, who was kinder to all than many deserved, and of Griswold the Smith, loud as an ox but gentle as a bird. This staff, one of a chosen time-tested few, is a relic from those relatively happy days before Tristram's darkening.
Who is this librarian? And what time period is she from? Maybe just as the Diablo 3 period comes in, or maybe between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3? I'm not really sure. I have never actually played through Diablo 1 or 2, and it's been almost 8 or 9 years since I played through Diablo 3, so I would actually like to play all of them on the channel at some point. At least 2, remastered, and 3. Then I found a relic of Laura's home. Yeah, okay. We have to read the terse notes. Not sure if you care anymore, but if you did, I've followed the trail of ledgers all the way to Yshari. That's where Cain's work rests now. From D. I guess that's Donan. Yes. So, Yshari Sanctum. I should search it thoroughly. Which is here. In another dungeon. Yay. Alright, well, we're going there. Making another cut right now. Right, here we go. So, chest, interact. And we got the Book of Cain.
There is one oft overlooked aspect of this tome. Its shared authorship between Deckard and his ward. For Cain, Leah offered a second chance at fatherhood. While her dark parentage would make her of great interest to any Horadrim, Deckard adopted her simply because she needed a loving guardian and a safe home. Our duty to sanctuary comes before our blood. But Deckard may have found the one exception to this rule. Leah became his family, yet his rearing of her would also guide Sanctuary's future. I am only thankful he died before he could see the fate that befell her.
Yeah, I kind of disliked that twist in Diablo 3. I thought it was a little bit lame. But I guess it would have been even more lame if... Oh, let's turn that off. It would have been even more lame, I guess, if it'd been like a fake out. So, I guess it was what it was. It was far from a perfect story, but, you know. I should play it on the channel. It's been a long time. So I'm going to make a cut to placing all the relics back in Karagar once again. Alright, so the Kin of Cain place the relics. The trail to find more relics has gone cold again. I should place these relics with the others in Karagar. That's 9 relics in total. And it seems like that might have been the finale of the season story. We've learned a bit about the Horadrim. All stuff you could learn from other media, but I guess, you know, it's something. If those dungeons had all been paired with nightmare glyphs, like you always got a nightmare glyph for that specific dungeon, I think this would have been a great quest line. Because it would have been extra lore if you're interested, not quite as good as the Sultan Cool journals, but still something, and it would have connected to the seasonal theme. But these were not connected at all. Now, I could have theoretically leveled, you know, and done a bunch of different stuff and waited till I got the correct glyphs and then done them. But I didn't know which glyphs ahead of time would be connected to which dungeon, so I might have consumed the one I needed, and it was just poorly optimated as a whole. So that was it for this season's story. There are, of course, the truths that lie within, which are still just the collect favor thing, but that's it for now. I will read through these real quick. So, Tier 11 says, shiny baubles gathered from all over Sanctuary have somehow made their way into the receptacle. Tier 12, which I got just now. The path to hell will be paved with the blood of demons. How they are to be slaughtered is yet to be written. Tier 13 says Lair Cache, which is stolen from the bowels of Maleficence itself. Tier 14 says, oh, it's the same thing as this one. Oh, did they repeat? Number 15 says power can be wrought from nigh anything if one knows how to seek it. Number 16 says born of the most vile darkness and wrapped in lies. Number 17 is shiny baubles once again, so it repeats itself. And finally, the last one says inside lies the spoils for those bound for glory. Alright. I'll be doing this next episode, I think, where I do the endgame content, fight some endgame bosses, probably level up to maybe 150. I don't think I'll get up to 200 this time, but who knows? We'll see if there are any holiday events or special events coming in. And in that case, I'll put them next episode. That'll be the final episode. And after that, I will do the season story compilation. So, I hope you guys did enjoy this one. Bit of a long episode with all the different journals and me showing off how to get each one, but I figured I'd include it just because, so people can see what it looks like. I upload content 5 days a week, and Diablo for 2 more episodes, and then we'll see what happens for the 10th season. But this story has been better than the previous one, about the same level as Season 6, maybe? Or Season 7, whichever one was the witch one, and then worse than a few of the others. That's my review so far. Alright, see you guys next time. Take care.